Hey everybody, my name is Cheryl Lacey Donovan and I want to welcome you to my YouTube page. I thought I'd just stop by today because I'm working on a very new project and I wanted to share some things that came to me as I was working on this particular project. Before I get started, I just want to remind you that you can connect with me on Facebook at Real Life Real Faith with Cheryl Lacey Donovan. You can also connect with me on Twitter at Cheryl Speaks Now and on Instagram at Cheryl Speaks Now. I also have a website that you can go out and visit and find a lot of more resources to talk about self-care, talk about personal growth, personal development. That website is www.cherylspeaks.org. That's www.cherylspeaks.org. So what I wanted to get on here and share with you today, I have 8 things that I want to share with you. And these, for me, are very empowering thoughts. They are things that give me motivation when sometimes I get a little unmotivated, when I feel that maybe I'm not progressing as fast as I should. I think about these things and they actually make me smile. The first thing is that I know that I have potential, and so do you. All of us are born with more than enough potential. In fact, my favorite scripture is Ephesians 3:20 that says that God can do exceedingly and abundantly more than you could ever ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. And what that tells me is that we have already been given everything that we need in order to live a life of abundance, in order to live a life, to live our best life. It's already on the inside of us. And when we realize the kind of potential that we really have, then amazing results can happen. So the first thing is realize that you have potential. The second thing is to count our blessings. Count your blessings. I know sometimes that can be difficult, especially when we're running through hard times, when we don't have enough money for the end of the month. We don't have all of the things that we think we really desire. But if we stop just for a few moments and don't dwell on the things that we don't have and begin to think about the things that we do have and count our blessings and live a life where we're living in gratitude, then we'll find out that we really have a lot more than we thought we did. You know, there are some people that have millions and millions of dollars, but at the end of the day, they have an illness that is fatal. They would probably give away every cent that they have in order to have good health. So if you have good health, that is a blessing. There are people out there who are really wanting to have children. And they have done everything in their power to try to make that happen, and it still does not happen. But if you have children, and yes, I have them, and I know sometimes they get on your nerves, and sometimes they don't necessarily do all of the things that you want them to do. But if you have children, that is a blessing. Even with our financial situation, we may not be exactly where we would like to be in our finances. We may wish that we had more income and less bills, but at the end of the day, if we are living in a place where we have a roof over our head, there are some people that are homeless that would say, listen, that is a blessing. So learn to count your blessings and be grateful. The third thing that we need to do is to learn from our mistakes. There is a lesson to be taught in the various mistakes that we've made. Those are simply stepping stones to get us to the successes that we want to see in our lives. Those are the things that help us to create the lives that we deserve and desire. Now, if we don't learn those mistakes, right? It's just like when we were in grade school and when we were in high school, if you didn't pass the test, you had to go back and retake that test over and over again, usually until you passed it. So when you go through certain things in life and you recognize that there is something that you could have done differently or that you could have done better, look for the lesson in the mistake. For me, as far as I'm concerned, there is no failure. Those are just simply lessons to show us how not to do something and to better our character so that we can continue forward and do things in a better way. The fourth thing is I find meaning in my adversity. We can ultimately emerge from any challenge with greater wisdom and greater courage. And at the end of the day, adversity is the thing that sort of builds our character and builds our perseverance. In fact, the Bible scripture even tells us that, these things are going to come, trials and tribulations, they're going to happen. But these things test our faith. They build our character. They fortify, who we are and undergird, exactly what it is that we were meant to be. So don't let adversity keep you from getting to your goal, getting to your destination. getting to that best life for yourself. Make sure that you know how to find meaning in adversity. And then here's something that I've learned. This is number five. Number five, there is only one thing that's constant, and that's change. Only one thing that's constant, and that's change. So we have to get to a place where we can embrace that change, because it's not going to always be the same. The more things change, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Listen, change. It happens. You're not going to always be where you are right now. Embrace that change. Learn how to incorporate it into your own life, and begin to move forward. Dream big. Dream big. Listen, I, for one, believe that I serve a big God, and I believe in dreaming big. I remember when I was a little girl, my mother told me to reach for the moon, and if I fall among the stars, I'm still on high ground. So there is nothing wrong with dreaming big, and as you're dreaming big, set some really big goals, and then break those goals down into even smaller goals, things that you can do on a daily basis to help you to reach that dream. If some things don't work out, don't let that stop you. Go back, relook at some of the activities and the steps that you wanted to take, some of the goals. Don't be afraid to course correct. It's okay. Every now and then we have to do that. Every now and then, we get out there, we try something. It doesn't work out exactly the way that we had anticipated or the way that we planned. But if we don't let that stop us, if we get out there, kind of retweak it a little bit, then surely some of the things that we're looking at will eventually work out in our favor. So just don't be afraid to dream big. Just get a piece of paper and write down as much as you can, as big as you can, and then break those things down. And here's the other thing, if you're going to write down some goals, don't just leave them on that paper. I hear people all the time tell us, write down goals, write your goals, make some goals. And then a lot of people do that. And then once they've written the goals, they just leave them there. So all they're doing is just sitting on a piece of paper. You haven't done anything. Scripture says faith without works is dead. So you're going to have to get up and work the plan the work and work the plan. You do something with those goals. Okay. Don't just write them down. Practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is not even about the person that offended you. Forgiveness is about you and allowing you the opportunity to move on with your life. Because one of the things I have found out is that 9 times out of 10, those people that we spend a lot of our time on, wanting to be mad at and not forgiving them and wanting to blame them for the place that we are in our lives, usually they're not even thinking about us. They've gone on with their lives, and they've started over, or whatever the case may be, have forgotten, may not even know that they offended us in the first place because we were afraid to let them know that they did. But if whatever the case is, learn to forgive, because at the end of the day, you cannot be forgiven if you do not know how to forgive others. So that's a huge part of what we need to do if we want to empower ourselves and make ourselves smile by living the kind of life that we desire. And then lastly, give generously. Give generously. And remember that giving is not only about money and finances. Give of your time, give of your other resources, give of your gifts. There are so many different ways that you can give back to people. Sometimes even just a simple smile is a way to give back generously, because you don't know what somebody is going through. You don't know what they may be dealing with in their life that has caused them to be where they are right now. So even just a simple smile from you can mean a whole lot to somebody that's going through. So I hope that you've enjoyed these things that I feel empower me, things that I like to dwell on, things that make me smile when I feel like I'm in a rut or I'm in a place where I'm stuck. Understanding your potential, counting your blessings, learning from your mistakes, finding the meaning in adversity, embracing change, dreaming big, practicing forgiveness, and learning to give generously. All of these things can empower you in a way that will propel you to live your best life. Remember to connect with me on Facebook at Real Life, Real Faith with Cheryl Lacey Donovan, on Instagram and Twitter at Cheryl Speaks Now, and go out to my website and find some additional resources on how you can empower yourself with personal growth and personal development. The website is www.cherylspeaks.org. www.sherylspeaks.org, and look for more of these videos coming really soon. And I don't want to forget to remind you that we do have a 31-day challenge coming up in October 1st through 31st. Woman, Love Thyself 31-day challenge. So get out there and find out the information that we've already placed on all of the social media platforms and join us for that 31-day challenge. As always, remember that God can do exceedingly and abundantly more than you could ever ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. Be blessed.